stop scrolling. Right now. Put your phone down. If you feel like you're running faster every day but somehow getting nowhere near happiness, you aren't lazy. And you certainly don't have a deficit of talent. You are likely falling victim to the biggest lie our generation has been sold since we were children, that if you just work hard enough, get rich enough, and optimize yourself perfectly, you'll finally find the good life. But here is the brutal truth that experts like Dr. P. Arthur Brooks tell us we cannot buy our way into serenity, nor can we download a personality update called Happy. The problem isn't that there isn't enough to do, the problem is that we've confused activity with significance. We live in an era where algorithms are engineered to hijack our biology. They know exactly how to keep you staring at a screen, feeding you endless content, designed to mimic connection while delivering zero actual intimacy. This constant stimulation doesn't make us better connected humans, it makes us lonelier. It turns us into NPCs in our own lives, reacting to prompts rather than living intentional stories. And the cost? Look around. The mental health crisis hitting young adults is catastrophic. Depression and anxiety aren't just statistics anymore, they are the backdrop of millions of days lost trying to regulate emotions via a device meant to distract us from ourselves. So, why does this happen even to the successful? Because we are optimizing the wrong things. Let's talk about the difference between your resume and your eulogy. Most of us spend 40 years building a magnificent resume. We collect degrees, promotions, titles, and bank accounts. These are instrumental goods, they help us survive and function in society. But ask yourself, what would you want written on the tombstone of someone you respected? Would it say high earner, top performer, or best boss? Probably not. People die wanting to be remembered for their character, their kindness, their integrity, their love for family. Those are your eulogy virtues. Tragically, so many brilliant minds end up dead inside because they poured all their energy into climbing a ladder made of glass, forgetting to build a home underneath them. This disconnect stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of suffering. We believe that pain means something is wrong with us. That sadness is a glitch in the system. Wrong. Suffering is inevitable, misery is optional. Misery happens when we multiply unavoidable pain by unnecessary resistance. Think about it mathematically, pain plus resistance equals agony. When you resist traffic jams, bad weather, or difficult conversations, you create a wall between you and reality. Real resilience comes from accepting the storm. As some economists suggest, viewing dangerous situations not as threats to avoid, but as opportunities to grow, changes everything. Fear isn't a stop sign, it's fuel. When you take action despite the terror, whether it's starting a business, entering a relationship, or facing a tough conversation, you transform vulnerability into power. But here lies the trap for high achievers. Often, we treat our lives like startup companies, where every decision is a metric-driven calculation. We think if we just execute the plan flawlessly, we win. But life isn't a spreadsheet. There are questions AI cannot answer and logic cannot solve. Questions like, what gives my life meaning? Or who am I really serving? These require sitting in silence, doing nothing productive, letting your mind wander. Modern culture hates boredom. Studies show people would rather endure electric shocks than sit quietly for 5 minutes. We plug our ears and stare at phones to kill any moment of idleness. But that quiet space, that's where creativity sparks. That's where you hear your soul speaking. My grandfather lived a rough, analog life with little comfort, yet he was happier than me. Why? Because he had room to breathe. He wasn't constantly fed information. He experienced real solitude, which forced him to process his thoughts, unlike us, who drown in noise. Consider the nature of your relationships. Are they transactional, or are they transformative? Marriage shouldn't be a merger of two separate assets, it should be a singular, continuous dialogue. Too many couples settle because they are tired of searching, ignoring the fact that compatibility starts with internal alignment. You attract what you are. If you compromise your values to fit into a relationship, you lose yourself. Conversely, if you pursue someone who matches your highest ideals, you elevate each other. Faith plays a huge role here, not necessarily as dogma, but as a disciplined practice of trusting something bigger than your immediate circumstances. Shared rituals, prayer, and service bind people together in ways that dating apps never could. And let's address the elephant in the room: failure. High performers hate failing. But look closer at your childhood. Was love conditional on your grades, your sports stats, your obedience? If yes, then your adult life is a frantic attempt to prove worthiness again. Here is the antidote: radical acceptance. Close your eyes. Visualize your worst possible failure. Imagine standing naked in front of everyone you care about, stripped of your job, your reputation, your ego. Feel the shame. Cry if you need to. Then open your eyes. Now try to imagine losing that too. Can you? Usually you realize you'd still be okay. Once you see that your survival depends on nothing outside of yourself, the paralysis lifts. You can move forward without holding your breath. True freedom looks different. It's not the absence of chaos, it's the presence of direction amidst the chaos. It's choosing to serve others even when no one is watching. It's realizing that the pursuit of infinite possessions will always lead to scarcity feelings, but investing in finite, loving relationships builds abundance. So, go ahead and fix your schedule. Optimize your workflow. But also, give yourself permission to be inefficient sometimes. Sit in the car without podcasts. Walk without headphones. Talk to your partner without checking your notifications first. Reclaim the boring parts of your day, because that is where the magic actually hides. Don't wait for a promotion to feel alive. Build a life that feels whole today, regardless of what your LinkedIn profile says tomorrow. Check out Profile for podcast summaries.